Aries. This is your reading for the full moon in Leo, which is happening here in Aotearoa tomorrow. It's the 4th today, so that'll be on the 5th. We're having a bit of a heat wave here, and so everything's sort of like melting a little bit. So it's sort of hard to keep cool. But anyway, mustn't grumble. There's always a winter to be had at some point. So let us get into it, Aries. Thanks for joining me. As I said, take what resonates with these readings, leave what doesn't. They're quite general. They can only be that. Check out the collective reading. You might find something interesting in there. And any other readings on this channel that the titles stand out beyond time and space. So this Leo full moon is, the last week or two, there's been a lot of quickening is what I feel, like a speeding up. What have we got? We've got, we need one more card, Dane. What are you doing? I'll get one more card. Good. Yeah, a sort of quickening. Check out the it's a Uranian thing as well, I think. It's the weather here is just really kind of gone quite wild and crazy. So not just here, the north here has been incredibly wet and pretty terrible sort of state of emergencies up. Heart goes out to people up in Auckland and surrounds, because this is a big deal and it's just going to go on and on a bit for a while. So it changes the whole structure or layout of a particular city. So anyway, let's get back into the reading, Aries. So we come out with the Prince of Swords. The Prince, you could say, is led on a merry dance. These fairy figures here, but we've got the reins here. Often there's a purpose to going in many directions without being too focused for a while. Sometimes that can be useful. And at any given time, being the Prince of Swords, we can cut those little thought forms. We create these, put energy into these thought forms that really become, they have a life of their own sometimes. And sometimes we just have to chop them off. And the ones that want to hang around that are more, say, ideally more beneficial for us, stay with us. And that's when we become more focused, So it's just the nature of the ever-changing, in some ways, Prince of Swords. We then have the Queen of Wands, this beautiful powerhouse. This queen has overcome many things to get to this point. And this is very Aryan. It is like off at the starting block. It's I, me, and my. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that with a negative overtone. It is about the I, going out, getting what you want, all of that great stuff. And that queen is not, how would you say, is not full of hubris or pride either. Like, she understands with her familiar here, because this is a reminder about the hurdles that have been overcome to get to this position. So she is not a bully. You know what I'm saying? And then we have Death, beautiful transformation, the Fisher of Men. We have Death, and then we have Adjustment, which is in the Thoth deck. Justice. We see the balancing of the scales. I love this card. It is so Art Deco-y, isn't it? It's It's a beautiful card. A card of balance. There's a transformation going on here. I mean, we know that because death is here and justice is here. There's a rebalancing of sorts. You know, for some Aries out there, this Prince of Swords might be a character in your own life. But Aries, I do see you as that Queen of Wands. Or it could, you know, the Prince of Swords could be aspects of yourself. But I don't think that. I do think it's someone else in your life. As we get the Two of Cups coming out, I do think it is someone in your life. But anyway, there's a transition that's going to occur if it hasn't, or is going on at the moment, whatever. And it's a rebalancing, you know, of a relationship. Let's look at the Prince of Swords, please. We get the Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. Queen of the earthly realms, of the practical realms of the tangible world. There's mixed messages, because it's as if this queen is sort of holding everything together, as is the Queen of Wands, holding everything in an you know, earthbound, holding everything together, keeping things ticking over, making sure that things are done. Then we have, I'm going to keep moving here, we've got the Nine of Swords. There are nightmares in here. There's worry. I think, Aries, it is within a relationship, but there have been worries. You know, maybe there are at the moment. I mean, we're living in a time that is fueled by anxiety, tension, all of that sort of thing. We can't let our worries cripple us or set us off in a sort of paralyzed manner where there is no direction, actually. That's fine for a short time, but it becomes really unhealthy long term. The Queen of Pentacles here is sort of drawing it back in, is bringing it back down. And, you know, we've got this Nine of Swords, unfounded fear and worrying. It's catastrophic thinking. It's anxiety. Something seems, Aries, out of control here. But what did I say? It's like counterproductive, or there's cross purposes, or there's something like that. It's just what I'm getting. We ditch the Nine of Wands, you know, this having a problem with my floral. Recycle, recreate, or reimagine, recreate. That's my line. Everything's recycled. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, let's just keep going. We've got the Star coming out. This is a beautiful healing card. Now we're creating a bridge here. It's quite confusing, Aries, because it feels like there's a reciprocal thing going on, and there is. But there are also cross purposes going on, if that makes sense. We've got the healing of the Star. You, in this process, whatever it is, there's healing going on, that's for sure. Dreams, wishes coming true. But I don't see it so much like that. I see it as a strengthening within yourself. And you're listening to something here that maybe in the past you hadn't, or you'd overlooked. It's quite confusing, but it is getting late in the day and it's very hot. In saying that, Oh, let's look at death here. Transformational card. Letting something go. Letting something go. We also got the Four of Cups in this zone where the Queen of Wands and Death are. We get the Four of Cups. This is there's some kind of offering here, but it's on a larger scale. It's not like an offering from someone, I don't think. Well, it might be. But it's as if there's an offering from the universe. If you look at it like that, like watching for signs and signals. But the thing is to recognize them as signs and signals without, I'm not talking about, a sort of psychotic episode. I'm just talking about, there's something about the universe here you are looking for. Guidance here. Signs and signals. Opportunities that don't appear as an opportunity. You don't recognize an opportunity when it's being offered to you, if that makes sense, Aries. We've got the King of Swords too, who very much comes and sweeps out, clears out the detritus or any confusion. I do think there's some confusion here. And then we have this thing of collaborative works, building something. We're building something new here. What is justice? What is the justice card for Aries? Justice, right. What appears to be a mutual thing, somehow Aries in this reading is not. To cut a long story short, we're looking at justice. There's the ability to transform in this by cleaning and clearing and looking at signs and signals, opportunities that you wouldn't normally recognize, but you're starting to now. We're clarifying justice, this rebalancing not only within the self, but whether it's a situation or the self. We clarify that with the Ten of Wands. This is the end of a cycle. This is actually about a burden that could be a collection of things, could be just a point in your life where you need to release it. You need to get rid of it. And then what happens? What happens is, I think there's a burden here of holding everything together. And when we get rid of that burden, we get this truly sort of reciprocal Six of Discs, which is about coin. Yes, it's about material things, but it's totally the idea of giving because one is generous. Not, it's walking a fine. I always think of it like walking a fine line. You're not expecting. You're not giving with an expectation. It's giving without condition, which is very difficult. It's like unconditional love. It's like something that we work on, if we can, for a lifetime. So this is a beautiful generosity card, and it's shedding a burden here. This is where we come back into our own personal balance. I do get this from this reading, Aries. So for some of you out there, hopefully you got something out of it. And what do we have? We've got angelite, angel communication, clairvoyance, alignment, and dream insights. Do check out. Take note of your dream world, your dream time, and see if anything stands out for you. Get that little notepad beside your bed when you wake up and jot a few things down. Aries, on that note, thank you for joining me. That was sort of an interesting reading. So do check out other astro signs or any titles on this channel that stand out for you at this time of the full moon in Leo. Thank you, Aries. Ka kite, bye.